Check out this right-hand drive 2024 Hummer EV SUV by Autogroup. She's unmistakably a Hummer and unmistakably right-hand drive. So this is a 2024 Hummer EV SUV Edition 1, Moonshot Green in the matte green. It's absolutely spectacular, and it's right-hand drive by the guys who've been doing this thing for 30 odd years. So building on our heritage of converting Hummers since 2006, we are incredibly excited to be showing you the world's first ADR compliant and properly converted Hummer EV SUV. These things are insane. 830 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds, which is nuts. A proper rugged off-road SUV, kind of perfect mix of Hummer heritage. I mean, it is absolutely unmistakable this thing is a Hummer, but it is also part combo sci-fi. Huge battery, these things weigh 4,300 kilos, so they are a beast. GM talks about 11,000 foot-pound of torque, which is insane. Realistically, probably 1,000 to 1,100 foot-pound of torque, but 830 horsepower is insane. Incredible acceleration, a range, depending upon how you drive it, of about 500 kilometers. Clearly, the first few months that you own one, your range is going to probably come down a fair bit because you're going to be going 0 to 100 at 3.5 seconds, but incredible, a proper off-road four-wheel drive, and they are absolutely iconic. There's no mistaking this thing is a Hummer. There is just no doubt at all, but it's a perfect combination of modernity and indeed transformation. It really is a thing of beauty. As you know, for 30 years we've been converting vehicles from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. You can see around us a whole heap of muscle cars, pickup trucks, SUVs, but there has always been, since we started converting these things in 2006, and we did hundreds of Hummers. So a lot of the H2 and H3 Hummers that you see around the world were converted by us. And now we bring you a properly converted Hummer EV SUV. Absolutely insane. And this is all about the details, and we always talk about in our videos, this is not about doing it as, dodgy crap. This is about doing it properly. Properly engineered, properly designed for its purpose. So these things are designed to clearly be an EV, clearly to be an off-road beast, and we hold on to those traditions whilst making it a right-hand drive. So if you want to drive one of these things in Australia, you can, but only for us. If you want one of these in Indonesia or Malaysia, in India, the world is your oyster. So this is an absolute beast. Let's go through some of the details. I mean, these things are an absolute beast, and clearly a Hummer. So where do we start? The LED lights, super cool. They look spectacular. When you're actually charging the unit up, when you've got it plugged in, these actually lights kind of fill up as an indicator to show you how full your battery is. Kind of a bit pointless, but super cool. Obviously your recovery hooks on the front and indeed on the rear of it. As you slide around, you've got your 22-inch wheels. Now you can buy an off-road pack for these. It adds about $10,000, but puts bigger tires, bigger wheels, etc. on it. But 22-inch wheels. So this is the Edition 1. So this is the first one that came out, and towards the end of the video, I'll run through all the different models, whether it's the SUV or the pickup and the 2X and the 3X and those sorts of things. As we slide through, obviously you've got your fixed aluminium side steps. Now, air ride suspension, which is absolutely bonkers. So it's got the extract mode, so we will actually lift it, believe it or not, 6 inches higher when you get yourself into a bit of drama or you're just having fun. Absolutely insane. Clearly, and we'll drop inside in a moment and have another look at it, but right-hand drive and done perfectly. No cheap corners cut, no dodginess, and I'll show you the things to look out for. And actually, the Hummer's a good example. Look, you know, we obviously have converted thousands and thousands and thousands of vehicles, so we know what to look for when you're looking at quality. And I'll point a few things out for you today. These things have got absolutely beautiful lines. So you've got your powered tailgate, of course, spare tire on there. It is a thing. You're gonna love them or you're gonna hate them. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love them. These are the business. We walk back further around. Obviously, this is not where you put your petrol in, kids. Obviously, it is an EV. So plug it in. We'll come into the charging details later, but I love the simple idea of being able to drive this beast during the day, come home, plug it in, charges up overnight, and then you're good to go. You can either charge it at home or you can plug it into the 800 volt DC public networks for rapid charging, so you can charge when you're out or indeed trickle charge it overnight, which is super cool. And then again, we just walk through them, and it is just iconic, it is beautiful. Now, being an Edition 1, this has got the infinity roof, which we'll show you, where you rip off the roof and look at the stars. And as we walk further around, obviously you've got the frunk. And I do like using the word frunk because it sounds like, anyway, clearly EV, huge amount of storage. So you've got your storage in the back, your storage in the front. What most people would use the front storage for, and it's got tie down hooks, etc., is to actually stow the infinity roof. So there's 4 panels on the roof, which we'll show you in a minute, but the easiest place to store them is in the frunk. I'm going to stop saying frunk, like what the frunk, but very, very cool. All right, I'm back inside, and we just wanted to show you the infinity roof. Now, this is super cool. Standard on this one. And in fact, just like this, I'm going to click my hands in a second, we're going to rip it all off. Just like that, with the magic of myself and indeed my incredible crew, we've popped the infinity roof off. It is absolutely spectacular. Now, you can see this T-bar here. You can remove it, but there are a set of bolts here, so clearly not something that you do. Believe it or not, I think it's about to rain. But clearly not something you do when you're heading out for the day, but if you don't want to do it, for a half-hour trip, but that can come out. But this is absolutely insane. 830 horsepower, awesome acceleration, right-hand drive. Let's jump into some of the interior details before it does actually rain here in Sri Lanka. Check this out. All right, so we're inside the Edition 1 Hummer EV SUV. So the Edition 1 was the first one that came out, so only available in the Moonshot Green. The 3X is the same, 3 motors versus the 2X 2 motors. So this is the unit that gets you to the 830 horsepower. The cool thing with the Edition 1s is it comes loaded with a bunch of extra features. But all the Hummers, let's talk through them. I guess one of the features in the Edition 1 is the bronze highlights on the dashboard, which are absolutely spectacular. And you'll notice that the right-hand drive dashboard is perfect, absolutely perfect. Now, as we jump through, you've obviously got, this is sci-fi at its best, high tech. So you've got your 13.4 inch touchscreen. So that's got Android Auto, Apple Play, all the other bits and pieces. Now, this is where the attention to detail really starts to kick in. So clearly it's right-hand drive, heated steering wheel. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But simple things. Note where the volume control button is. All right, so not only have we converted the vehicle to right-hand side, but we've converted the technology. So it doesn't sit here, because that's where it was when it was a left-hand drive vehicle. It's over here. That is about the detail. That is about the fact that we've been doing this for 30 years, 4,500 vehicles. We don't cut corners. We don't. One of my previous videos, I talked about the bullshit meter. That is an indicator of the bullshit meter. And again, let me present the gear knob. Funnily enough, it is also converted. It is in the right way. Rather than just swapping it over, this has been completely redesigned by our engineers, 3D printed, configured absolutely correctly. So again, it's the detail that counts. And for me, moving a volume knob from this side to this side is not a big thing for us. We've got 30 engineers, we know what we're doing, bucket loads of vehicles. But for me, it's a telltale sign. So if this hasn't been changed over, what the hell does happen to the rest of the vehicle? Because this I can see. This is there, this is visible. This is visible. What about the actual engineering that's involved, the safety, the quality, the standards? That's what it's all about. That is why we have for 30 years been the undisputed, I don't know, we're just good at what we do. It's about not necessarily being fast, it's not necessarily about being cheap, it's about doing things the right way. I mean, we are talking about a 4,300 kilogram EV SUV that does 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. When it comes, and that's a bloody rocket ship, that's faster than Elon can put rockets into Mars. So when you've got a vehicle that's that heavy, that quick, you have to ensure that corners are not cut, that quality is there. So yes, ISO 9000, 2015, which we've done for 20 years, it's in our DNA. But it's these details that helps to ensure you that if there is an incident, an accident, etc., that it's been engineered correctly. Now, Volume control for me is a dead simple element, but what about when it comes to lane changing technology, or the rear collision control, or the auto park capability? That stuff's harder. So it's all about the details. And in lots of our videos, whether it's, on this, the right-hand drive Hummer EV, whether it's our muscle cars, our pickup trucks, our other SUVs, the Lincoln, the Yukon Denali, we talk about 500 to 700 parts that go into a conversion, and we talk about 500, 600, 700 hours of effort, engineering and production effort. The reason it takes that long is you have to do it properly. And I've said before, this vehicle is ADR compliant. So legally, if you're in Australia and you're watching this, you can be a super cool dude and buy yourself a Hummer EV, or in a whole bunch of other countries around the world. But again, it's the level of detail that really comes into play. So lots of features in here, obviously keyless start, keyless entry. The Edition 1 comes with, as I said, the super cool front LED lighting, but it's also got proximity lighting. So when you're approaching the vehicle, exterior lights light up on the ground. When you're leaving, it does the same, which is hard to show you when it's daylight in Sri Lanka, but very, very cool. Great lines, as you can start to see when you look at the vehicle, it is absolutely fantastic. So you've got your 13.4-inch touchscreen, absolutely amazing. You've got your 12.3-inch digital speedo, all in. Obviously this is converted to kilometers per hour because that's where we move our vehicles into. Oh, my son's calling, I'll just hang up on him now. It is absolutely spectacular. Multi-segment AC, so 3-zone AC. Clearly the AC doesn't work when you have the infinity roof off, but cool. If you're going to buy a Hummer, you want an infinity roof. There is absolutely no doubt about it. All right, so sitting inside here, we've got the 14-speaker Bose stereo, so it's going to absolutely pump out your tunes. Well, to be fair, people are going to notice you when you're driving a 2024 Hummer EV in right-hand drive. Clearly there is no doubt, but throw in your incredible Bose stereo and they're going to hear you coming, because they won't hear it because it's a EV, of course. 12-way power seats, heating and ventilated, so cooling seats, absolutely spectacular. Huge amount of room, so obviously drink storage, wireless phone charging, USB-C and B, I don't know, whatever, old and new USBs. Huge amount of storage in the center console, heated steering wheel. Everything is very tactile in the Hummer EV, which I really quite like. So lots of physical buttons to press. Obviously this is a touchscreen, but a lot of the controls are all physical there. Obviously your modes are controlled down here. Again, let me point out gear shift connector, which you can't see because my thumb's in the wrong way, on the right side, but absolutely beautiful. It feels good. The acceleration is absolutely insane, quite clearly, 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. It is beautiful. The odd thing, and I've got to say the odd thing is the car is running, but it doesn't make any noise. And I'm sure you can see our muscle cars around us, but it is one of those things that you just got to get your head around, the fact that she doesn't make any noise whatsoever. But it is a delight. An absolute delight. All right, so I popped in the back seat because I wanted to demonstrate there is a bucket load of room for you and the infinity roof. But these are quite comfortably a 5 full-grown human person being SUV, and there is still an unbelievable amount of space in the back. I mean, you would quite comfortably fit, 5 proper big suitcases in the back, or 14 small children, but 5 people. Obviously, when you're sitting for 4, you've got your center divide, so you got a drink holder here, there's a drink holder down here on the right-hand side. As I said before, 14-speaker Bose stereo throughout, so you can see a couple of them in the doors. It's absolutely incredible. Obviously, or not, you've got your AC controls here for the midsection of the vehicle, so randomly it's set for 24 degrees, which you would never use in Sri Lanka. Equally, USB C, new, modern, whatever, an old school USB, storage area for whatever it happens to be, and indeed you've got your charging point down here. So that we can configure depending upon the country that it's going into. So if it's Australia, you get an Australian plug, whatever plug is necessary. So you've got USB, you've got your main power charging here for your, your laptop, but there is a huge amount of space in these things. They are absolutely beautiful. And you can start to see some of the detailing here. So the leather stitching on the Edition 1, they really are a stunning SUV. Now they're not over the top luxury, that these are not a Yukon Denali Ultimate, they're not a Lincoln Navigator, but then you're not buying them for that. If you want the ultimate luxury SUV, then clearly you're going to go towards a GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate or a Lincoln Navigator. This is a SUV quite clearly. It is EV, it is fast, but it's designed for off-road. So it is a proper off-road vehicle. Like the heritage vehicles, the H2, the H3, clearly coming out of the Humvee world or origin, were designed to be four-wheel drive, and this thing absolutely lives up to it. So from its escape mode, its 6-inch lift, the CrabWalk mode, it really has everything. I think probably one of the most surprising things that I love about this is the dual, the turning wheel. So the turning circle on this thing for a vehicle that is, pretty big is absolutely insane. Plus then you add in the parking technology, so you get to your supermarket, hit the button, and she'll park herself, which is kind of cool. They really are a beautiful SUV. Let's have a look at some more. All right, if you haven't worked out by now, I absolutely love the Hummer EVs. They are spectacular, and I guess it probably comes from the fact that my dad, who started this business 30 years ago, from sort of 2006 onwards, converted hundreds and hundreds of the Hummers. So, I don't know, maybe it's a family tradition, but these are absolutely beautiful. Fast, crazy fast. EV, is it the future or not? It's a personal decision. I've definitely sit on the fence. I mean, sitting behind you, and around me, you can see some of our muscle cars, and there's definitely, I love those, there is no doubt, but there is just something iconic and indeed super cool about these. So you can also get the Omega version, which is new. It only comes in a specific blue color, but that gives you proper off-road capability. They are super cool. One of the nice things with the Hummers, particularly the edition ones like this, is that they come with all the options. So you don't need to add a lot to it, which is super cool. There are plenty of options though, both internal trim and indeed external. But definitely, look, for us, our customers are looking for typically the 3X, the edition one or the 3X. The difference is the 3X, you have 7 different exterior colors and you have 2 different interior choices, versus the edition one, it's just Moonshot Green and this absolutely stunning interior. So there's a couple of the differences that you need to look out for. But if you're looking at a Hummer EV, whether it's the SUV or the pickup truck, and I guess the same with lots of our vehicles, whether it happens to be the Hummers, the muscle cars, pickup trucks, whatever, there is one organization to work with, and that is us. Trusted for 30 years, 4,500 vehicles. We've been doing this a hell of a long time, exporting to 40 odd countries and around the world. And most importantly, our vehicles come with a full vehicle warranty. So been here 3 decades, in a year, 2 years, 5 years time, we're gonna be here if you need some help. So you know what you need to do. If you like our videos, please do me a favor, hit subscribe. If you'd like us to do more detailed videos on our Camaros, our Dodge Challengers, any of our pickup trucks, the Lincolns, the GMC Yukon Denalis, drop us a comment. Thank you for watching. Cheers.